Y'all, I got the next video out here. And this is Luffy during Dressrosa, right? So that means he has Gear 4. He has Bounce Man. And then I got Naruto during the beginning of the First Great Ninja War. That was when he was training, outside with fucking, or at that place with Killer B. And he unlocked Chakra Mode. So Naruto has Chakra Mode at his disposal. And Luffy has Gear 4. Bounce Man. Just Bounce Man. Alright? So in the first scenario, that is, Luffy or Naruto essentially taking the place of Dofi in Dressrosa, and they're fighting in Dressrosa, right? So now, strength goes to Luffy. Luffy's still defending all the people he's defending, so he's gonna fight harder during this fight, right? Speed goes to Naruto. Naruto is faster with the chakra mode. He's moving faster than his father, the Yellow Flash, and he's fast too. So and Luffy in Bounce Man, he's fast, but it's other things that he gets, you know, not just speed. See, Luffy, his durability goes up. You know, like I said, strength for Luffy as well, right? Endurance goes to Naruto, and this is why it goes to Naruto. Luffy can last in a fight, right? But at this point in the series, Luffy, after using Gear 4, he's gassed. Like, he needs to, lay the fuck down for a while before he can even summon that shit up again, and that's 10 minutes he needs, and he won't have that long. Naruto, goddamn, Naruto can last longer in that state, the chakra mode state, and even if he leaves chakra mode, he can still go into sage mode. And he's what I'm basically saying is he's still on his feet while Luffy might have to sit the fuck down, and you can't do that in a fight. Intelligence goes to Naruto. Naruto is always a smarter fighter than Luffy, but experience goes to Luffy. Luffy, does, in a fight scenario, sometimes he does he thinks on his feet, and he's just like, I have to do this since this guy does this. I see him doing this. I don't want that attack to hit me. Naruto can go into the fight with a plan. Luffy will just go straight in, because he has had those experiences, right? Close skills go to Luffy. And Bounce Man, he'll go right up to Naruto. Once he finds him and shit, he'll get rid of them clones now. Naruto sends some clones. Luffy's getting rid of them. Once he finds the real Naruto, Luffy finds the real Naruto. He's getting up on him. He's making sure he's right there. Close skills go to Naruto, or range skills go to Naruto. He has the Rasengan Shurikens. He has the Nine Tails Rasengan, Planetary Rasengan. That shoots arms out, much like Luffy, but he doesn't do it constantly, consistently. And then, like you said, he has the Shadow Clones too. Riku goes to Naruto since he has Kurama's chakra, a portion of it under his control. Hacks go to Naruto as well. Like I said, Nine Tails chakra under his control, about I don't know how much percent, half of it, about 25 to 50% of Kurama's chakra is under his control at this point. And then the environment goes to Luffy. Dressrosa is an island, right? But it's a bigger island, so Luffy doesn't really have to worry about the water and shit in this scenario. So in the first scenario, it goes to Naruto, 6-5. It's a close fight. But then we go to the Naruto world, shit gets different. Luffy's taking the spot of Madara, or the revived Kage, right? And then Naruto is there to defend the Shinobi Alliance, who's going against that stuff, right? So since that's the case, Naruto's gonna fight harder for his people. He's there to, protect people who are trying to protect him and other things. So Naruto has more strength in that scenario, right? He's gonna fight harder, and they're both, very similar. But in this situation, it comes down to shit like that. Speed goes to Naruto again. It's a chakra mode, so he's, fast. Raikage tries to hit him, and he's moving at the speed of lightning. Um, and he flashes out of the way. I like to say Naruto's the speed of light. People already say he's faster than light. Durability goes to Luffy, right? Luffy in Gear 4 bounce man, he's, a tank. He can take hits. Endurance goes to Naruto, though. Like I said in the other scenario, he can, spam the, calm, the chakra mode now. He can keep that shit going for a while. Intelligence goes to Naruto. It didn't matter, like, if they were in, Naruto's world or Luffy's world. One Piece or Naruto. Naruto's gonna be smarter than Luffy. But Luffy does have more experience at the shit he does than Naruto does, especially at this point too. Uh, Close skills go to Luffy though. Luffy will run up on him and let him know what the fuck's going on. He'll still dismiss clones and all that shit, y'all. Like it ain't like it's a big stop. Luffy's running up on these clones, destroying these clones, and getting there pretty quick. Now Naruto is clever and shit though, and knows how to like sneak up on Luffy, and that's probably how Luffy finds Naruto in this scenario. Naruto sneaks up behind him, and Luffy has to basically tank the attack, and then get back up and start fighting. Uh, Range skills are Naruto though. I said he had the planetary Rasengans, he has the Shadow Clones, he has Rasen Shuriken, and he has all that. Recoup goes to Naruto. Naruto, say he does leave chakra mode, he still has, sage mode at his disposal, you know, and at this point he can use it much quicker than when he was fighting against pain. Um, and yeah, like it's Kurama's chakra, so he can. It's a healing factor about. So Naruto has better that than Luffy does. Luffy loses Gear 4, he has to like sit the fuck down for like 10 minutes. He has to run around for 10 minutes and dodge Naruto, who's faster than him. That's not happening. I love Luffy too, but like in at that point in the series, he ain't doing that. Hacks go to Naruto though too. Like I said, he has chakra mode. He has these the planetary Rasengan now. He has he can use the Rasen Shuriken more frequently, more chakra at his disposal. And Luffy has Gear 4, but he's like not mastered it yet. He can't keep it for a long period of time, so it's not gonna, it is a factor at the beginning of the fight, but Luffy's not to Naruto, who's somebody like who's on his level and shit. He ain't doing that. If it was somebody weaker, you know, you could probably win, but they're like very comparable still. So he's losing that. And then the environment goes to Luffy actually. Like I said, there's definitely no water here in the fucking desert. So Luffy has that going for him. But even so, Naruto wins that 7-4 in the second scenario. So basically, at those points in time, Naruto stronger than Luffy, more powerful than Luffy, faster. Obviously smarter than Luffy was too. And that's just Gear 4 during Dressrosa. I'll make some other videos, and this is leading towards the one that you guys really want to know about. And we'll get to that one soon. We'll get to that probably by the week of my birthday. We'll have that being talked about. But stay cool, Core on the corner, and that's my opinion on those two fighting in those forms. Stay cool.